Alright, hello and welcome to Daily Space for today, July 24th, 2019. I am your host, Annie Wilson, and yeah, it's a Wednesday. I do rockets, because I am not an astronomer. I only know enough astronomy to be dangerous. And yeah, so you ready? You ready? You ready? Good. Because let's get at it. So first we're going to talk about the things that launched. And this launched, by this I mean Roscosmos sent up on the 20th. They sent up more humans and a space toilet. We kind of talked about this last week a little bit, so I'm just going to glance over the details and we're just going to watch the launch video because, you know, launch video. So, in case you didn't know, rocket launches are loud. You have been warned. Ready? I'm hitting play. It'll happen, I promise. Oh, okay, so there's the arm pulling back. There's the ignition underneath. Things are coming off, and there it goes. There it goes, and headphone wearers, there is no sound, so y'all got lucky. There it goes, just off into the distance. Off into the distance. So this goes on for a while, like a big long while. So I'm going to skip ahead. And yes, these are the actual astronauts inside the Soyuz capsule that's on that Soyuz rocket. So there it goes. And here's stuff. But I can't quite make out what's being said. And I can't remember, somewhere along here there's separation, and we'll skip ahead some more. So this flat thing in front of it is the solar panel, and there it is unfolding. And that's pretty much all there is really to look at for this. So yeah, it launched alright, and things and stuff. So, the other thing that launched, the really big thing that launched that a lot of people were excited about, and I did not stream because it was really, really early in the morning, was India's Chandrayaan 2. It launched, I think it was on the 22nd. It did launch on the 22nd. It was originally supposed to launch before that. I think they had to push it back. And it will arrive at the moon in September. So until then, it's going to do a bunch of series of maneuvers like Berry-Sheet did to raise its orbit around the Earth until it gets kind of captured by the moon. And then it's going to do, hopefully it'll do a soft landing. So this was an entirely indigenous mission, meaning that the rocket, you know, is of Indian design and construction. The rover, the lander, and the orbiter are all of Indian design and construction. So there you go. This is one of the posters that they've put out after the launch, just says Onward Bound. And from left to right, you have the rover, the lander, and the orbiter. So, yeah! And here is a picture of the whole unit, because it right now it's traveling as one big unit. This is a picture of the whole unit separating from the rocket. So that's cool. That's cool. And of course, there's an image of the takeoff, which it's a pretty big rocket. This is only the 4th time they've launched this. I think it's a GSLV Mark III. This is really only the 4th time which they launched it, which is why when they had that technical snag, they did push the launch back, because you have a lot of expensive equipment. This is kind of a big deal, kind of a big mission, and you don't want to ruin it. So it is a very big mission. And of course, I have video. Again, if you're wearing headphones, you have been warned. There should be audio, I think. We'll find out together.
3 minus 18 seconds now.
अब आप ध्यान से अपनी स्क्रीन पे देखिए. अब आखिरी के 10 सेकंड बाकी हैं. अब मैं कुछ दिन के लिए अपनी वाणी को रोकूंगा. आप ध्यान से देखिए.
7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0.
Here it goes.
स्क्रीन पे देख रहे हैं 2 S200 रॉकेट
Plus 5 seconds.
दोनों का प्रज्वलन हो गया है और उसने 640 टन वाले मार्क 3 रॉकेट नौकन को ऊपर की ओर लेके जा रहे हैं.
We have a liftoff. A perfectly normal liftoff.
So there you go. That's the liftoff stuff. So I do have some technical data because, you know, y'all like technical data. And thanks to our ISRO, who always helps me out with these slides and put a lot of technical info in here for me. So, because I know a lot of you have asked, some statistics are, this is indeed the 4th GSLV Mark III launch. It is the 4th Indian launch of 2019. It is the first GSLV Mark III launch of 2019. And the 27th mission from this particular launch pad, and this is the 2nd Indian lunar mission, hence the Chandrayaan 2 instead of, you know, Chandrayaan 1. The mass of the excuse me. The mass of the orbiter for Americans is over 1,150 2-liter bottles. For everybody else that understands kilograms, is 2,379 kilograms. It's 3.2 meters by 5.8 meters by 2.1 meters. So Americans, think of a meter as roughly the same size as a yard, and you'll be good. I don't have any, you know, it's as big as X thing here. So, the orbiter itself is designed for a 1-year mission. It carries 8 scientific instruments, including a high-resolution stereo imaging camera, a dual-frequency synthetic aperture radar to look for evidence of water ice at the lunar poles, an imaging infrared spectrometer to aid in the search for water, sensors to study the moon's tenuous atmosphere, because yes, the moon has a very, very thin atmosphere. The orbiter is also going to act as a communications relay for the lander. So the lander, for those that understand kilograms, it is 1,471 kilograms. For Americans, that's 500 plus 200. Let's just call it 700 bottles of 2-liter soda. And it is 2.54 meters by 2 meters by 1.2 meters. It has 650 watts of power. And, oh, it's an exosphere. I blame our ISRO. Our ISRO wrote atmosphere. It's his fault. The Vikram lander's targeted touchdown is located in a highland region on the near side of the moon at approximately 70.9 degrees south latitude. closer to the moon's south pole than any other previous lunar landing mission. The stationary landing craft carries a suite of multiple cameras and 3 science instruments, including a seismometer to listen to moonquakes, a thermal probe to reach a depth of 10 meters. Hopefully it'll make it all the way down 10 meters into the ground, to measure vertical temperature gradient in the lunar crust, sensors to investigate plasma near the moon's surface, and a NASA-provided radar retroreflector array to help scientists locate the exact position on the moon. I think Berry Sheet had one of these, and it's literally smaller than my trackball. So they're not very large. The Vikram is designed to last 14 days on the moon, which is equivalent to 1 lunar day. The rover is teeny. This is how teeny the rover is. It is 27 kilograms. That is, let's call it 14 2-liter bottles of soda. It is 0.9 meters by 0.75 meters by 0.85 meters. Americans, just think of 1 cubed meter, and that's about the size. It's really small compared to the others. It has 50 watts of power. It's solar powered. It has a range of up to 500 meters during its 14-day mission on the moon. Again, it's only meant to last 1 lunar day. 6 wheels will relay science data and images through a radio link to the Vikram lander. Has an alpha particle X-ray spectrometer. Did I say cubic yard? I didn't say cubic yard. I said spherical yard, didn't I? I am so used to not US units that, yes, just think of it as a meter cubed or a yard cubed. I want a spherical yard. It has an X-ray spectrometer to measure the elemental composition of the rocks at the landing site, along with a laser-induced breakdown spectroscope. And Pragyan River is named for the Sanskrit word for wisdom. So, yeah. And yes, they do have batteries on board. They are hoping to wake it up after the lunar night, but it's really not designed to go beyond that. We'll see. NASA missions, from, just reading about NASA missions in general, when we send spacecraft, it's only supposed to last like XYZ time, and it's gone beyond that. Like Opportunity and Spirit, like they were only supposed to last 90 days, and they kept going and going and going and going and going. So, yeah. So, that's all the details you ever all wanted to know about Chandrayaan. We'll probably talk about it again once it gets closer to the moon and lands. And if they do a stream of it doing a soft landing on the moon, we'll stream it. Okay. So, that was all the stuff that launched. Let's get to the stuff that is launching. So tonight, at 2200 hours, 24 minutes UTC, so that's, let's call it 6:24 Eastern Time, and then 3:24 West Coast Time, is the SpaceX launch, and this is the CRS-18, and it was pushed back. This originally was supposed to happen on July 21st. There was really no announced reason for it being pushed back. SpaceX is definitely tight-lipped about things like this, and they don't do a whole lot of, updates on, hey, this is why this happened. So, yeah. I'm just scrolling through all my things. So, it's a commercial resupply mission So that means it's going to take a whole lot of stuff. But before we get into all the stuff that's going up on the Dragon, which we're not going to talk about all the stuff that's going up on the Dragon because OMG is it a lot of stuff. Let's talk about, you know, the stickers on the thing. So you're looking at a picture of the SpaceX Dragon, and you see two emblems of the ISS. I'll explain why those are there in a second, as well as the Moon to Mars Apollo logo, because, you know, it was supposed to launch on the 21st. So it would have been kind of time appropriate, but since, you know, the Apollo 50th celebration is going to continue forever, which is okay. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Apparently my dogs have opinions on this 50th anniversary stuff. So, yeah, so from when it was originally supposed to be scheduled, it was appropriate. So, some facts about this launch. You know how I mentioned, hey, there's 2 ISS stickers on this thing? It's because this particular spacecraft has visited the ISS, wait for it, twice. The first time was back in April 2015, and the second time was in December of 2017. This is the first time that a first-generation Dragon has been used 3 times. So that also means that this is the last mission for this particular Dragon. When it's returned, it will probably go sit in a museum somewhere. And, yeah. So thanks to Stephen Clark of spaceflightinfo.com, or spaceflightnow.com for that info, because that's not a factoid I knew before. I knew they got reused. I didn't know what the life expectancy of, you know, a Dragon craft was. So the booster has also been used before. This booster has been launched previously on May 4th, 2019 for the last ISS resupply mission. So CRS-17, it landed on, of course, I Still Love You. So, yeah, cool. Parts of this are being reused. It's pretty freaking awesome. So, what's going up? Oof, oof, oof. So you got food, you got supplies, you have computer resources, which is 16.8 kilograms worth. I don't know if that's laptops or if that's parts or hard drives. I don't know what computer resources are. But we have nearly 17 kilograms of... Excuse me! We have nearly 17 kilograms of computer resources. And yes, this one is landing for this launch, the booster is landing on landing zone 1. So no, of course I Still Love You catch. Mice. There are mice going up for an experiment. There's been a whole bunch of mice experiments up on the ISS. I think this is a continuation of studying bone density and microgravity, as well as the IDA-3. That is the new International Docking Adapter 3 to, you know, standardize how commercial bits dock on the ISS. This is the bit that we talked about probably last week that's going to be installed by Canadarm. No, it is not 27 kilograms of mice. I don't know how heavy the mice are. A few CubeSats, and these are my favorite parts about what's going up, because there's a whole bunch of experiments going up on this, but there are 2 experiments, aside from the mice, that I want to talk about. So, the first one is soccer balls by Adidas. So yeah, these are soccer balls somehow associated with Adidas that are going up. It is to study, and I'm not joking, the behavior of free-flying soccer balls in microgravity, literally studying spherical aerodynamics. The that I saw on the website I went to, which I think I have handy. I don't have it on this slide. It was literally like, yeah, we can test these in wind tunnels, but wind tunnels have too much, you know, limitations, so we're gonna send these up into space. So that's the first one. The second one is related to Nickelodeon. Just pause, think about that for a second. Nickelodeon is sending an experiment to space. What in the world are they sending, you ask? Slime. They are sending slime to space. Seriously, they are going to make educational videos about non-Newtonian fluids, which their slime is one of, in microgravity. The astronauts and cosmonauts get to play with slime for science in space. For those of you that aren't in the US, Nickelodeon is a cable TV news channel that is generated towards kids. And years and years and years ago, I don't know if they still do it, they used to have a show where they literally slimed people. They just slimed people. So Nickelodeon's usually full of cartoons and other stuff for kids, but they're definitely known for their slime. So that made me happy, and I just had to share that. Just had to share that. So, okay, on to the next thing that's launching. We did talk about this a couple weeks ago, and then I heard nothing and nothing and nothing, and guess what? We finally know when it's going to launch. It launches tomorrow, July 25th at 500 hours UTC. And that is, quite frankly, too early in the morning for me. Well, too late. It doesn't matter anyways. Why doesn't it matter? Because there's no live video. There's never live video for Chinese launches. Well, I'll get you guys the launch video afterwards. So iSpace, or the Chinese characters, literally, translate to StarCraft Glory Space Technology. I'm still not sure how they got iSpace from that, is an early stage venture that raised all of its own money independently. So even though it is a child corporation of a, you know, government organization, they're not funded by the parent company. I forget exactly how the company hierarchy for iSpace is, but essentially, they've raised all of their own money. That's the important thing. That's the important thing. So, last time when we talked about this, I had 3D renders to show you and no real photos except for the sounding rocket before Hyperbola. So, they're going to launch Hyperbola 1 tomorrow, and here is a image. I know it's kind of but here's an image of the actual rocket with people for scale. It's not very big. I can't remember what the payloads are, if there were any payloads. Thank you, Arnstro. Arnstro adds that its parent's company was a civilian spin-off of the Chinese governmental space agency. So yeah, it's a spin-off of a spin-off. These things happen. So here's the rocket with humans for scale. And you may notice towards the bottom of the rocket that there's something that doesn't look like usual emblems or characters or things of that nation, or things of that nature, not nation. Here's a close-up of that. Yeah, you're seeing that right. This is, no, it's not that. This is a picture of 2 SUVs on the rocket. Why is there 2 SUVs on the rocket? This is why. The Chandrayaan, I probably slaughtered that. The Chandrayaan Automobile Company is the name sponsor of this first flight. I am not joking. This is one of the ways that they have raised cash so they can be independent from their parent company, or, you know, their spin-off, or whatever company they spun off of from, to pay for everything. So, yes. Why not? Let them have it. But yeah, that's why, is because there's an SUV car company totally paying for this. We're just not used to seeing this because NASA does not allow commercial logos on the rockets and things. So to us, this is like, whoa, weird, but other countries do this all the time. So, and here is yet another image of the rocket on its little tracky thing. I imagine that that's what they're going to use to move it out to the launch pad and help get it vertical. So, yeah, all of that. Okay, so that was a lot of news. We made it through. We made it through all the technical difficulties. I am going to put the dogs back up because, you know, dogs. And now I am going to scroll through your questions. And while I scroll up, I am going to remind you that Daily Space with me, hi, Annie, has been a production of PSI, that's Planetary Science Institute, in collaboration with Youngstown State University here in Youngstown. I don't know what it's like outside Ohio. So, some notes about it's not that loud because my scroll only goes back up so far. Yeah, I thought I thought it had noise. Most of the time that I have rocket launch videos for you guys, it's loud. DPI points out that this is the old Soyuz rocket since the newer Soyuz 2 is not human rated yet. Correct. I'm partially amused that it's a Soyuz on a Soyuz. Scrolling. Gluten-Free Space points out this fun fact: India sent a probe to the moon for less than one average Hollywood blockbuster. Yes, they did, and they are very proud of that fact. There's just so much that, like, we could really dive into, you know, bits and pieces of, you know, Chandrayaan and all that stuff, but then there wouldn't be time for anything else. So, yeah, if it was a slower week with, like, no rocket launches going on, we could have done that. But yeah, I think that's a fair point to mention. So, Falco asks, when they have a glitch pumping over the cryogenic fluids, does it mean they lose all of that fluid? I don't know. Because I don't know if it has to be drained. I don't know if it just evaporates off. I really don't know what happens. So Arnstro says it depends on the glitch. DPI adds they can probably pump quite a bit back, depends on the liquid. Hanny's adds, I'm surprised rockets can look so different. You would think that aerodynamically there would be a best shape for a rocket. As far as we can tell, best shape for a rocket is something with not a whole lot of surface area pointed towards the sky. So, there's that. Y'all correcting me on the atmosphere being an exosphere. Falco asks, what's the difference between an atmosphere and an exosphere? Our Instro adds, exosphere is really a collection of gaseous to plasma atoms that almost never run into each other. They're so thin, far apart. And yeah. As well as, Starstrider adds captured atoms and molecules. Like I said, the moon doesn't really have an atmosphere. Our exosphere for the Earth extends to 1,000 to 2,500 kilometers above the surface, depending. My mess up with spherical yard instead of cubic yard. Aye. So Hanny has asked, why do rovers always have wheels? When I think of wheels, I think roads. Why not tank treads or legs like a beetle? Starstrider adds, legs break easy and treads are heavy. Wheels tend to work if the surface isn't the greatest, and there's actually a whole lot of stuff that goes on into making treads work. And if the surface isn't smoothish, you can have issues with treads, plus dealing with vehicles on tracks can be difficult. Most people understand how to drive things with wheels, even if it's remotely. So, yeah. New graphical cards or PlayStation 5. Okay, then. Mice are computer resources. Not that kind of computer resources. Arnstro says, new hard drives and storage devices, all the software upgrades Microsoft can't do automatically for the ground. Oh my goodness. Scrolling. And I think I'm almost to the bottom. Michael says they should have live video if they're showing sponsor images on the rocket. They are probably selling tickets or offering tickets to Chinese citizens to go see this. And yeah. We're not Chinese citizens. And Fingering asked, today I learned that China now produces more EVs than anyone else in the world, Tesla included. Yes, they are doing that on purpose. They are literally trying to curb their carbon emissions. So they are definitely trying to do whatever they can. Plus, they have a population that can afford them now, which is actually kind of a big deal. So, Ramp adds, tank treads break easily too, lots of moving parts and wear surfaces. Correct. And all the jokes about mice, which, if you have not read or seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you may not understand all the jokes. But essentially, mice are the largest investors for computer hardware in the known universe. According to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that is indeed true and indeed canon. So, yeah. Oh, a couple other things that I did not manage to add, and I shared it in... Oh my, I have so much going on in my thing. I shared it in CosmoQuest, but I'm going to pull it up if you give me a second. Light sail. So, get it in the right window here. Or not. I don't know what just happened. I'll just make it the right window. How about that? So give me 1 second while I pull this up and readjust things and essentially convince my computer that what I'm doing is the right thing to do. And while it thinks it's not the right thing to do, this is also another good time to, you know, ask questions. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. And I'm gonna break it. I know I am. Aha! There we go. So here is the light sail stuff. So it might be a little hard to see better. I can't tell if this is better or not. So we streamed the light sail solar sail deployment yesterday, and it did indeed deploy successfully. And now the Planetary Society has this lovely dashboard up, and the URL for this dashboard I'm going to copy into chat as soon as I find chat, and boom, there it is. So it has the elapsed mission time, it has the last time the data was grabbed, so that was a little over an hour ago. Sail status is deployed, it has the whole battery charge listed, the internal temperature, which is actually dropped from the last time I checked this, rotation rates, which that probably makes sense to some of you, it doesn't make sense to me, and the attitude control mode is now solar sailing, and you can actually see when it's going to pass over you. And it's a pretty cool little map. So, and for me, the next time it'll pass is not until tomorrow. And then they have all this advanced data all at the bottom, and you can actually download the data. So I thought this was cool to share. So yeah. How big is the sail? Missed the stream yesterday. I forget how big it is. I know it's big. I know it's big. The sorry, I'm trying to process and think. And no, I have not had luck. They have not had luck downloading a picture from LightSail 2. The data has been kind of corrupted while they've been doing it. I don't think Link's been the greatest stable-wise. I don't know what's going on. They haven't downloaded a photo yet. Gem Doctor asked boxing ring size. That sounds right. That sounds right, Gem Doctor. Ramp says, the Twitter says they've downloaded partial imagery. That would be corrupted imagery is partial imagery. So yeah, that's a thing. That's totally a thing. And yeah, I thought it was measured in football fields. No, the graphic they went with is indeed was indeed the boxing ring. So you can go and rewatch the thing here. They don't have... This is the team sitting at the table. Yes, this is literally what the stream looked like. And I don't think... It's really not... I can't quickly get to an image of it. So if you can see Starlink satellites, you should be able to see this. I have no idea. Falco comes to the rescue with some numbers. 344 square feet or 32 square meters. Awesome. How high is it? It should actually have that right now. Maybe not. They don't have that data up, so I don't know. I really don't know. I know we could download all the latest data, download the beacon structure, but I really don't know how high up in the atmosphere it is. I know, wait, here it is. Altitude is 716.95. I don't know what units that is. I'm going to assume kilometers or meters. But that's the number that they have for altitude. So, LOL, millimeters. No, it is not millimeters. Oh my goodness. So, I just hummed a perfect fifth. Aw, cool. I didn't know I could do that. Ernster says it's kilometers. Alright, so it's 716 kilometers. Apparently going down. It is definitely in space because it has crossed the Kármán line. I think that's literally everything for today. I mean, that's all the news. We made it through all the slides. I made sure I gave you guys an update about LightSail. I will be streaming later tonight, so probably in like 4 hours I should be back on. I should be back on in about 4 hours. So until then, I am going to, hang out. I'll be around Discord if you want to figure out, if you want to know how many images you've marked. Fenring says, I tried mapping Bennu today, and I literally started dozing off during image 2. Tried to map all of 3 images. Sorry. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. You did a science, and I am very proud of you because you did a freaking science. And you can say you did a science today. So, yeah, everyone, even if you've only marked one image, if you've marked one single image, you are going to get a certificate at the end because you all freaking helped us do a science. So, we don't have the things set up so you can automatically see how many images you've marked. So, yeah, I have to go in the database and look. And that's okay. If that's what helps keep you all motivated, I'm totally cool with doing that. We may mark Bennu some before the stream, before the rocket launch. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises about that. But yeah, just keep on marking Bennu. Y'all are doing great. The numbers left to do keep on going down. The actual numbers of people registering on what I can see on the database keeps going up. So yes, keep inflicting science on others. Keep on marking rocks. We can get there. We can do it. I promise. I promise. And I may or may not be ordering strange things to eat. No, it won't be surströmming because I can't even eat that in the house. So I know I said I was going to do it, but I can't even eat it in the house. So yeah. Whew. Okay, so I think that is literally all the things. All the things. So I am going to do the wall of text, and then I'm gonna go take a break. And like I said, I'll be around in Discord if you want an update on your notes or you just want to chat. And yeah, oh, raid Bonsai Baby will do. We can totally set that up. All right, Henny says, I've done 2. Great, you've done a science. You have literally done a science, and I am so happy. Okay, so, well, again, has been a production of PSI, it's Planetary Science Institute, in collaboration with Youngstown State University here in Youngstown. I have no idea what it's like outside today, Ohio. PSI is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, which is fancy speak for your donations are tax deductible where laws allow. Speaking of donations, we are here because of you. So yes, thank you for literally everything. Thank you for donating. Thank you for contributing to Patreon. Thank you for buying merch. Thank you for hanging out and joining us for the stream. Oh, I think there were things that happened and I forgot to throw Cheerios. So yeah, in case you didn't know, this is how we thank you. Here's the Cheerios and speak. Tinker says thank you, Puck says thank you, I say thank you, and make it rain. So yes, I thank you with Cheerios. If you can't contribute financially, follows are free, hanging out with us is free. Please hang out with us. Inflict us on, people you know, or hate, or love. Whatever, it happens. And yeah, we have Discord. So you can hang out with us on our Discord. The easy way to get access to all of the channels is to read the rules in Rules and Info and follow the instructions. The long way to get access is to wait for me to match your Discord username with something that resembles the username in the Bennu database. Other than that, we'll be here. So yeah. See you all later. I think that's all the things that I have to do. I'm going to roll the credits, and then we're going to raid Bonsai Baby. So, yeah, I will see you all later. Bye. Where's the credits? Where's the credits? Okay, now they're rolling. Yes.